Hi everyone, this is Nicole from What Cerebral Palsy Looks Like. Welcome to this week's live chat. Tonight we will be talking about working out with cerebral palsy. I'm just going to wait until people start to join us, and then we will start the discussion. I see that one person has joined us, and I want to welcome you. So please let me know that you're here, and I can say hi. And if you want to as well, you can say where you're from, and it's just a friendly place here, and we're going to wait for some more people to join us, and then we're going to start the discussion. So tell me who you are and where you're from and how you're feeling about tonight's live chat. I know I'm really excited. A lot of people ask me what type of workouts I do, and now that I have my own blog and website at NicoleLuongo.com, I can talk about more things and put these videos up there and write articles about these topics so more people can see what cerebral palsy looks like, because that's what it's about. It's about raising awareness and also educating people, because as we know, a lot of people just don't know much about cerebral palsy, even though it's the most common disability in childhood. Now, I realize that all of us may have different degrees of cerebral palsy. So tonight's discussion is just going to be general discussion between me and you about working out, how we feel about it, what types of things we do, what things might help us, especially having cerebral palsy. And I'm going to be looking in the comments while I talk to you and answer any questions, and also, you might say something that somebody else can benefit from. So I want to say hello to Amberlyn. Thanks for joining me, and say hi to whoever else is here. I'm trying to look and see who you guys are, but it just gives me the number. I can't see your icons for some reason. So if you want to type in the comments that you're here, let me know, and I will give you a shout out. Hey Jessica, thanks for joining me. And if you guys would let me know how you found this. Did you see maybe my posts about it? And if you shared it, I want to thank you so much. Barbara, you made it. You didn't miss anything. I'm sorry that you were looking for it, but you're here, and I'm glad you're here. So, like I said, people always ask me what type of workouts I do, and I think it was in 2016 now, I did a guest blog post for World Cerebral Palsy Day because they asked me to write about cerebral palsy and physical fitness. Well, actually, they asked me to write a blog about cooking, and I said, no, you don't want me for that, even though I do love to cook and bake, and I use my Instant Pot a lot. I recommended my friend Ryan Ragu to be featured with them, and they did a feature on him because he is great on the nutrition side, and also he is going to be my special guest for part 2 of this discussion, because Ryan is a Paralympian athlete who has cerebral palsy, and he knows a lot about the body. He knows a lot about what types of workouts help those of us with cerebral palsy, what types of stretches help us. So he's going to be listening to this discussion, and we're going to take away things that you guys might want help with or answers to, if he can help you or I can help you, when we come together and do a live interview, which is going to be scheduled soon in the near future. So I did a guest blog post for World CP Day, and I talked about how I've been working out since I was in high school. I had a stationary bike. Then that progressed to when I was in college. I got a Nordic track machine. I loved it. And I always watched, fitness shows on TV. There's one that was called Body Shaping on ESPN. I would watch that all the time. So, you know, I've really been doing some form of workout for decades now. I want to say hi to Michael. Michael said it's funny because he was about to work out and he found this. Oh, Michael, well, thank you for joining us, and let us know what type of workout were you about to do. I myself love a mixture of cardio and strength, and I am a gold member of Chris Freitag's Get Healthy TV. Chris Freitag is a personal trainer. She's been helping women and men all over the country for, I think, like 25 years. She's been on television. She is just a great person, and I've been working out with her for, well, I found her on demand on my cable company's broadcast, Comcast, and it was called Exercise TV. Have any of you ever seen that? I found Chris's videos there, and I loved her. Hey, Zach, my friend Zach is here, and he said he's been working out since his surgery. Zach and I both had selective dorsal rhizotomy surgery with Dr. Park in St. Louis. And Zach, that's great. I'm so happy to hear that you're working out, and I want to hear what types of workouts you're doing. I actually, to get ready for that surgery, I was already working out in my life, but I had found Chris, and I did one of her programs to get in the best shape that I possibly could, because for that particular surgery, it's very important that your core is very strong. So, you know, I did a lot of work, but for me, it was just doing what I'm used to doing. So I want to thank you all again. If you're here and I don't see your icon or your name, just put in the comments where you're from and what type of workouts you like to do. I'd like to welcome my friend Rochelle. Hey Rochelle, I'm so glad to see you here, and I hope you're feeling better. So I don't know if you guys saw on the page earlier, I shared some information which I included in my guest blog post for World CP Day. It is from the American Academy for Cerebral Palsy and Developmental Medicine. They put out a fact sheet about physical fitness and exercises for adults with cerebral palsy. So I'm just going to go through some of this. Just in general, it's, you know, this is beneficial for anybody with CP, their caregivers, or parents of someone with CP. It's just a general discussion. But let's talk about, why should we exercise? Why do you guys think that we should exercise? Now, there's many reasons for that, but exercise can increase our levels of muscular fitness. It increases our cardiorespiratory fitness and joint range of motion. They've all been associated with, and this is from the fact sheet, improved functional capability and mobility, reduced risk of depression and improves quality of life, maintaining healthy weight, reduced risk of osteoporosis, which means weak bones that increase the risk of a fracture, and exercise can also lower the incidence of type 2 diabetes. It also puts us at a reduced risk for falls and related injury. Exercise can reduce back pain, and exercise lowers the risk of hypertension, cardiovascular disease, stroke, and heart attack. Barbara says it's great medicine for her. Jamie is saying hello from North Iowa. Hello. Zach is telling us that he does a mixture of stuff, but mostly learning how to fire his muscles and how to strengthen them. That's great, because we all know, having cerebral palsy, our bodies, what do they say? We expend 3 to 5 times more energy than people who don't have cerebral palsy. So think about that. You know, we don't have, like Rochelle likes to say, we don't have the reserves that other people have. So, exercise can help maintain where we are. And also, what's very important for those of us with CP is stretching. Because if you have spastic diplegia like I do, and I believe 80% of those of us with CP, we have that type of CP, our muscles are tight, so we're fighting spasticity every day. Well, I'm not, because I had selective dorsal rhizotomy and my spasticity is gone. But if you didn't have the surgery, or you're still dealing with spasticity, it really wreaks havoc on our bodies. And even though mine is gone now, I had it for 40 years, so it doesn't mean that I don't have any problems or I don't have cerebral palsy anymore. But I can tell you that, to quote Dr. Park, I can do more with less effort. And the fact that I have been exercising since I was, I don't know, let's say 16 years old, and I'm going to be 45 this year, I think that's a major part in why I have been able to maintain a high level of functionality. And that's another thing that exercise can help with, is help with daily functions and performing daily activities. So let me just check the comments and see what everybody is saying. And Zach said he thinks they say we expend 5 to 9 times more energy. Yeah, I know. I've heard, I think 3 to 5 or 7. I'm kind of confused too, which number is correct. But thank you for that information. Hey, Jason, how you doing? Jason, he says stretching, stretching, stretching. Yeah, so let me show you guys something. I haven't really figured out how to use this. But on the topic of stretching, this is a foam roller. If you guys can see this, I'm sure you can. Just put some hearts across, and plus they'll make me feel better anyway. So I know that you guys are listening. But this is a foam roller, and I've always wanted to try one of these, and I finally got one. The jury's out. I honestly don't feel like I know what I'm doing with it, and it's kind of strange because you have to like balance your weight on it. So I'm not particularly thrilled with it at this time, but one is from Roga, and this is called the Soft Panda. This is the softest one they make, and by no means is it very soft, but as you can imagine, they would feel harder, the different ones, that you can purchase. Now you can get these from all different places. I heard very good things about this one, so I decided to try it. Jason, so you're saying stretching, you can let us know what types of stretches you do. Rochelle says exercise increases endorphins, so it helps combat depression. Yes, I mentioned that earlier. And she said it's important for all of us with CP to stay active, so we stay mobile, and stretching is so important. She stretches every morning and she walks. See, that's great, because it's about doing what you can do. That was one of the things I wanted to stress during this talk, is everyone's different. So what I might be able to do, someone else might not be able to do. What someone else might be able to do, I might not be able to do. But I'll tell you one thing, I do a lot, and I modify practically every workout that I do. And I still am able to do everything. I just have to do it my own way. Meaning, usually it's using a chair. I mean, I use a chair for everything that if I need help with. I posted a video earlier of me doing burpees using the aid of a chair. I also hold on when I have to do lunges. And, there's just all types of modifications with different exercises. So I don't want you guys to feel like, well, hey, I can't do that. You'd be surprised. You really would. I remember last year, Chris Freitag, she has fitness calendars on her website, and I'm always doing one. I'm doing one right now. It's called the Real Results Challenge. And last year, she had this one program that used a stability ball. Guys, I got that stability ball and I was like, oh my gosh, I'm falling off this thing. I can't do this. Well, I can do it now. I still have to modify some of what I do, and if I can't do the exercises on the ball, I take the ball out and I do the exercise on the floor. Oh, Jason, hey, guess what? Jason says bands are helpful. Well, guess what I have? This is a resistance band from Spry. You will often see their products in gyms because they make gym quality products. This is a green resistance band. It's, I know, no pun intended. I didn't get it because it's green for cerebral palsy. I got it because it's a light resistance band, even though I have to tell you, it doesn't feel light. I'm still trying to break this thing in. But there's a lot of things that you could do with bands, and you can also, if you travel, they're great for travel. Now, before I forget, you guys can let me know in the comments what type of CP you have or what type of limitations you have, because we can kind of maybe talk about some of that. But if you use a wheelchair, you can still exercise. And I found a great article that I just happened to see yesterday from Rolling Without Limits that I posted on the page. And it really gives some helpful exercises for people who are in a wheelchair. You can do exercises with weights. I do have weights, but they're in front of me and I don't have them here to show you because we all know what weights look like. But for example, you could do, you know, a move like this. You could go in front of you, you know, if you're able to move your arms above your head. You can do tricep extensions. You know, there's all sorts of things you can do. Rochelle says when she uses her stair stepper, she holds onto the counter for balance, and the same with her Bosu ball. That's excellent. See, so she's still getting the benefits of exercise, but she's not letting the fact that her balance might need help, she's not letting that get in the way of getting her exercise in. And that's what's important. So let's see what else we have in this fact sheet, because some of it's important. And it says, and I quote, many people with cerebral palsy are very physically inactive, and these recommendations may be quite difficult to achieve. Some exercises may not be possible depending on the severity of cerebral palsy. The good news is many health benefits may be achieved by doing less than the recommendations. Being fit and exercising should not be considered all or nothing. Start small, become familiar with both aerobic and resistance exercise, and gradually progress exercise time, frequency, and intensity. It is better to stick with a program than do nothing, simply because you cannot reach the recommended levels. Well, there you go. That's what we're talking about, right? I really want to motivate everybody to do what you can do. Zach, for example, says he works out 6 to 7 times a week. Wow, Zach, I gotta hand it to you, especially for someone of your age. Aren't you, I'm trying to remember, are you in your senior year of high school or did you just graduate? He'll put it in the comments. But, you know, he's doing a lot for someone of his age, because let me tell you, you guys know, most people are sitting on the couch. They're not exercising. That's just in general for Americans. So if you're doing anything, you're a step ahead of the game. So pat yourself on the back. Yeah, I was right. Zach's 18. Jason says NeuroFit training helps him with stretching as well. Amberlyn says that she's in a wheelchair. Okay, great. Well, let us know if there's stretches or exercises that you like to do. Hi, Holly. Thanks for joining us. So, do you guys want to hear some of the things that I like to do? Like, you know, my favorite exercises, or I can tell you how many times I work out in a week. I also have another little thing here. This is called a sponge ball that I got to use with one of Chris Freitag's workouts, because it incorporates this ball and it kind of uses it in a Pilates type workout, and Pilates is an excellent way to stretch. I actually have a Pilates reformer machine. It's off to the side, but I can't show you that right now, but it is on my blog. I did a blog post about it, I think a couple of years ago. Rochelle says she thinks people put too much stress on themselves because we can't always do stuff like a quote-unquote normal person, but we learn to adapt. Exactly. You know, I like to call myself the queen of modifications. Let me tell you, I can do a lot of stuff, and I just modify, and I don't care. And one of Chris Freitag's mottos is, there's no shame in the modifying game. So I'm going to borrow that from her. I know she won't mind. She says it all the time. Do what you can do. There's no shame in having to go slower than they go on the video, or go faster. Whatever the case is, just do what you can do. So this ball here, you can do a lot with it. I mean, you can't see, but I just put it between my knees. So you can squeeze it that way. There's so much you can do. Hey, Lindley is joining us. Well, Lindley, she works out a lot, and she's also done some running, at least I think 1 5K. She'll correct me if I'm wrong, but she has cerebral palsy. She's an adult as well, and she knows a lot about working out, and she also had SDR with Dr. Park. So a lot of us have that in common. But so for me, right now, I'm working out 6 days a week. I'm following the Real Results Challenge with Chris Freitag and her trainers at Get Healthy UTV. And if anyone's interested, she does have a code that will get you a gold membership for $20 for the first year. And that is just an incredible value, because you can work out to the workouts on your TV, on your phone, on your computer. You don't have to go to a gym. Yeah, Lindley, I knew I was almost right. She did a half marathon, and she's also becoming certified as a personal trainer. Oh, I didn't know that. Congratulations. Well, your clients are going to be lucky to have you. James says he also feel free to check out Handy Capable Fitness on Facebook and YouTube. He has videos that may help. Hey, James. I'm so glad you're here. Thank you for everything you do on your page and YouTube and Twitter and Instagram. I hope everybody checks you out. Let me just make sure to see if I missed anything. Annette says she loves a Pilates machine. She wishes she had one. Annette, even though you don't have a Pilates machine, you can do a lot of what is done on the machine on the floor. You just have to either find a video, and there's many videos on YouTube, or even, you know, you might have some, and you just follow the exercises, and you'll get the benefit that way. So before I continue, do you guys have any questions for me before we go on, or if you have any comments, just put them in there, and I'll see if I can answer them, or we'll see what else you guys want me to talk about right now, or, you know, I'll just wait to see what you guys say. You're welcome, James, and I want to welcome my friend Heaven Ramsey. She's here, and now that I see her, I want to also say that many of us have at one time or another gone to physical therapy. And I know Heaven is going right now. So, you know, although I'm not able to continue, they won't let me because I'm quote unquote too mild. So that's why I take matters into my own hands, and I do things on my own. Now, I have to tell you, I'm not very good about stretching at all. It was something that, you know, nobody ever talked to me about when I was younger, and you know, I mean, I would stretch if it was part of an exercise routine, to be honest. But, you know, so whatever you guys learn in physical therapy, you can do those exercises at home, depending on which ones they are. So if like Heaven and so many of us, we have problems with our insurance and we can't continue, that doesn't mean you can't continue doing some things on your own, because that really is what it's all about. As we get older, we have to take our health into our own hands, and we have to be our own advocates. And that's hopefully what you're learning about today is do what you can. The best exercise is what you'll do, because a lot of people, they don't do anything because they're not sure what to do, and so then they're not getting the benefit. And what we want is for people to think about what types of activities they enjoy doing, or you enjoy doing. Do any of you like to dance? Because I do, although it's been years now. I was taking ballroom dance classes for a while, and I miss it. But dance is a form of exercise. So you might be saying, well, I don't know, I don't like to lift weights, I don't like running or whatever. If you don't like something, don't do it. Do something that you do like. So I want to hear about you guys. Put in the comments, what kind of exercise do you like to do? What's your favorite? Heaven says dancing is amazing. Barbara says sounds like Canada, where they pay out of pocket for healthcare. And Heaven says what she's doing now is really more like strength training and a workout twice a week, and it helps mostly. It's stuff she can do at home except the balance exercises. Yeah, Heaven, don't you wish you had those balance rails? I wish I had those in my house. You stand between them so you can, if you go over to one side or the other, you can touch so you don't fall over. I miss that. Let's see. Barbara says she's going on the rock boat in a few weeks. She doesn't dance, she wiggles. That's what got her motivated to get back into shape. She needs to be able to rock the boat. That's funny. Kayla says she does hippotherapy. That's another excellent form of physical therapy that also mimics, being on a horse mimics our gait, so it can help with our gait, with a core strength, with stability, which we know is very important. Jamie says she loves dancing, and James says just something, anything, it will benefit you. And he's exactly right. Amberlyn mentioned skiing. Jason loves to get in the pool. He loves to box. He loves functional fitness and lifting. And he brings up a great point. Swimming is a low impact form of exercise, and in the water we can often do much more than we can do on land. So if you like to swim, keep that in mind. There's a lot of things that you can do in the pool. I know I was really a fish growing up. I love to swim. I can still swim underwater. I love to do that. I could do flips and all sorts of stuff. It's fun. Let's see. I'm going through the comments here. Rochelle says her dad helps her by putting her legs on his shoulders and stretches her out because she can't hold her legs up that high. She uses a band under her feet and she tries to do it herself. Well, see, her dad is acting like a physical therapist, because we all know that when they stretch us and it hurts our hamstrings. I can speak for myself, because how many times do we hear having CP, oh, your hamstrings are tight, your hips are tight. Yeah, well, tell me something I don't know, right? It's kind of like a broken record thing. James says he goes to the gym 5 days a week. He also likes swimming. Heaven says aquatic therapy is amazing. And, oh, Joanna, hey, I didn't see you. Welcome. So glad that you've joined us. She loves to run. So she has that in common with Lindley, who ran a half marathon, and she's getting certified to be a personal trainer. Barbara does high-intensity, short-duration strength training every other day. She tries to also get on the treadmill, and the treadmill is great for her because she can walk with handlebars on a smooth, consistent surface. So it's the only time she can really focus on her gait. That's an excellent point. Because the treadmill, well, I know back when I was in physical therapy, they put me on the treadmill to practice heel toe. And I remember when my therapist, after a while, said, well, take one hand away. And then he wanted me to start running. And I looked at him like he was crazy. But I was able to progress to not having both arms on the rail. But at first I was like, what are you, nuts? Do you think I'm going to be able to do that? But he was right. I could do it. It's just, you know, we're not used to that. And with my balance, and then you're on a surface that's moving, it feels kind of weird. So Zach says his dad stretches him every morning. Waves to your mom and dad. They're such nice people. Kayla is learning dressage, so her hippotherapy is more like a real horseback riding lesson. That's really cool. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name, but I want to welcome you. Is it Haven? I'm sorry, I don't think I have that right, but you're looking for a personal trainer in Vegas. Well, I'm in South Florida. I happen to have family in Vegas, but none of them are personal trainers. Maybe somebody here can point you in a direction, or if you just go on Google and look for trainers in Vegas, I'm sure you'll come up with something. But do your research, though, when you do find names. James says it's extra important to watch our nutrition. Yes, James, that's another subject. And when I have Ryan Ragu, a Paralympian with cerebral palsy, he's going to be joining me for part 2 of this discussion sometime in the future. He's actually was in Ottawa, Canada, and I believe he's flying back sometime this week, so that's why he couldn't be here tonight. But he really knows both sides of it, and the nutrition and the physical. So I think I'm going to ask him to cover a little bit of both when I interview him. And if you guys would follow him, his Facebook page is called Enabled Not Disabled. So check him out, and if anybody knows his URL for that page, please put it in the comments for me. Thanks, guys. So let's see if I have anything. Well, I do have something else to show you. This is a kettlebell. Does anybody work out with kettlebells? You can put some hearts across or tell me in the comments. That's what I used for the video for the event for this chat. I was doing some kettlebell swings, and it's really fun. This is a 4-pound kettlebell because honestly, guys, I don't think I can handle much heavier, because with the movements, you know, you're lifting. Really, it's better if you can lift a heavier weight with kettlebells. But I think because I have CP, you know, I have to watch my form and make sure that I can keep my balance. So that's why I have a little baby one. It's 4 pounds, but you know, let me tell you, you really feel it. It's no joke. It is no joke. Does anybody here do kettlebell training at all? It'd be interesting. I'm just looking through the comments, make sure. Hey, Heaven, thank you. Heaven posted the link to Enabled Not Disabled. So please go check Ryan out. Show him some love. He's great. He really is. And I know you guys will love him when I interview him on this page. So, okay, well, Barbara says she hasn't tried a kettlebell. Barbara, I think you might enjoy it. I encourage you to look up kettlebells. It's a lot of fun. And Jason says he has trainers at his adaptive facility if anybody needs pointers. All right, so do you guys have any questions for me before we continue? I'm just going to look and see if there's anything else on this fact sheet that I want to share with you. Joanna, are you asking me, is it hard for me to use a kettlebell? If that's your question, if I have that correctly, you can let me know in the comments. But if you guys, later on, if you check out the link that I posted to this fact sheet, they also have resources there's some organizations that promote fitness, exercise, and recreation for people with disabilities. So they have them for the United States, for Norway, the Netherlands. That might help you guys. Let's see if I'm missing anything in the comments. So, you know, there's a lot that we can talk about with respect to working out and type of workouts. I obviously want to say, as a disclaimer, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a physical therapist, I'm not a personal trainer. I'm just someone who has cerebral palsy and who has worked out probably since I was like 15 years old, and I'm going to be 45 in June. So I remember when I saw Dr. Park, and he recommends that people stretch 30 minutes a day. Now, I love Dr. Park, but I didn't have the heart to tell him that's not happening. I'm not going to stretch for 30 minutes a day. But he is incredible in his own right. I don't know if you guys know this, but Dr. Park he competes in professional amateur ballroom dance competitions. So the guy is incredible. He's in exceptional shape himself, and it's an honor to be one of his patients. But he basically, he recommends that those of us who can, if we can work out with a trainer or, do things at home. And that's just what I've done my whole life. I mean, I really didn't have an example of anyone working out. I just started watching shows on TV, or I liked it, and I like variety in my workouts. So have you guys heard of HIIT training, high intensity interval training? That's where you do, I think, one exercise for 45 seconds, and then you take a brief rest, like, is it 15 seconds? Something like that. But, it gets your heart rate up, and then it goes down, and then it goes up, and, we just do a lot of fun stuff. I really enjoy the workouts that I do. Not only that, but the Get Healthy UTV community, there's a private Facebook page. We all motivate each other, and there's so much out there. There's videos on YouTube. You can find just about anything nowadays. Let me just look in the comments again to see what everybody is saying. Oh, see you, Jason. Jason says he has to go to a meeting. Thanks for joining us. And Zach says he's heard of HIIT. Bye, Heaven. Good luck with your homework. I hope it's not algebra, because I know you're not looking forward to that. I was never good at algebra either. I think it's a CP thing. Seriously. I really do. So, guys, is there anything else that you want to ask me, or any other comments that you want to make? Or do you have any types of exercises that we haven't mentioned that you want to tell me about? Maybe there's something that I want to look into. I did go to a CrossFit gym once because they were looking for a certain number of men and women to be in like small groups. And I think the reason why I didn't join is because it was just going to be too costly for me. But I did go for an initial meeting because I wanted to tell them, hey, look, this is my story. I have cerebral palsy. I wanted to make sure I'd be able to do the exercises, and also in a group class, that's where I started years ago. I went to a gym and I was in a group class. I loved it. But, sometimes if it's too difficult in a group class, I don't want to hold up a group. So I wanted to see, what kinds of things that we would be doing. But like I said, it just would have been too costly for me, so I decided to keep working out at home. And not only that, with CrossFit, you have to make sure that where you go, that they are focusing on form, and they're going around and they're watching everybody. Because one thing we haven't talked about is, if you don't do exercises properly, you can hurt yourself. And I don't just mean CrossFit, I mean any type of exercise. It's very important that you pay attention to your form and you know that you're doing the exercise correctly. So if you're ever in a group setting, do any of you take group exercise classes? Because if you do, you know, I've been there. I know even though we're all warriors, as Rochelle likes to say, and we can adapt and we do things our own way, don't ever think that there aren't times that I would like to be able to do things like everybody else, because there are. But I just feel that I don't want to miss out either. I want to have fun too. So when I used to go to the gym for quite a few years, I was in a great class, and I would just do everything everybody else was doing, and I wrote my first article for the Mighty about that. Part of it was the 4 words, you know, we never want to hear, which is you do so well. And that came out of my experience at the gym, where one of the lovely ladies asked me if I drove, and I said, well, how do you think I got here? And, you know, because in that class we would lift weights, we would run around, you know, it was just a small room, but there was enough room to run around. And when they would do walking lunges, I would just stand in place. There were, like, you know, these poles or whatever that I could hold on to, and I did that, and I just did whatever I had to do, and everybody, either they moved around me if they had to, and everybody just kept moving. Oh, another form of exercise I love, and I recently bought one of these, step aerobics. Have any of you ever tried that? It's so much fun. I can't do it anymore though. For some reason I've had problems for quite a few years now where, you know, my right foot just like doesn't want to step up anything. It's strange, but I can also use the step as a form of therapy because I can just step up and down on it. A lot of step videos, sometimes the choreography is just too fast. I simply can't keep up because I'm also stepping up on something. So when that happens, I just do the same routine on the floor. I just don't use a step. So there's a lot of ways you can modify and you can adapt. Let me check the questions again. Barbara said she hasn't tried group fitness, but she tried yoga once and it was very embarrassing. Barbara, I'm glad you brought yoga up. I'm sorry I forgot to mention yoga. It's great. However, I just can't get into it. I try, I really do. It's really good for us, those of us with cerebral palsy. But, you know, for me, a lot of times I can't do what they're doing to the point where I can't modify because there's just too much to try to modify. I'd be modifying most of the workouts, so it doesn't make sense. So there are some from Chris that I can do. And even with the calendar that I'm following now, it's the Real Results, it's the Fitness Trainer Challenge. It's intense. I mean, they're 45-minute workouts like every day, and they do recommend 2 days of rest days if you need them. I'm only taking 1 because I've been working out for a long time. I know I can do it, and if I need a rest day or extra rest day, I take it. And that's another point I want to make. If you need 2 rest days, 3 rest days, 4 rest days, whatever, just listen to your body. There's no shame in the modifying game. There's no shame in taking rest days. This is not a competition. You do what works for you, and as long as you stick with it, your body will love you for it. It'll help your mind. It can clear your mind. And I know a lot of people now have Fitbits or fitness watches. If that helps you and you're in a group of friends who do challenges, that can get you motivated to working out. Hey, Zach, you bring up a great question. Zach asks, have you looked into vibration plates? I haven't, but I have seen the posts, and Zach and I are both a member of Dr. Park's SDR Facebook group, and he highly recommends vibration plates to adults and children with cerebral palsy. I haven't looked into it because I have a Pilates machine I do workouts at home. That would be something else. That would be another cost to me, and not only I would need a place to put it, and so I live in relatively small space. So no, but if you try it, let me know what you think, because I have been interested in how those work. I've never been on one. Have any of you guys been on a vibration plate before? Let me know in the comments. And so just so you guys know, it's approaching 7:50. Do you want to continue for about 10 more minutes? We can, exchange comments, or you guys can ask me questions or whatever. But let me know. Put some hearts across, or let me know in the comments if you want to go for another 10 minutes. I'll be more than happy to do that. Zach says he recommends a vibration plate. Yeah, I know. It really sounds interesting. I just have never tried it myself. And there's, this year, all the things that I showed you, the band, this is new. I mean, I just got all these things for myself, basically for Christmas. Well, not the kettlebell. I've had that for years. But this balance ball, that's new. And the foam roller is new. I really should have tried that a long time ago, but I just never got around to purchasing one. But for that, I really wish that I had a personal trainer or physical therapist to either help me use the foam roller, because otherwise I don't think I'm going to get the benefit. But also, like I said, a stability ball. I don't have it in front of me to show you, but I think you all know what they are. And if you are interested in a stability ball, they often use them in physical therapy to help you with core exercises. If you buy one, they go by your height. So I'm very short. I'm 4'9". So my stability ball is, I think, a 45 centimeter ball, but they do go by how tall you are. Zach wants to know if I'm looking into getting a stretchies. What is that? I have the we talking about I can't think of the name of it. I have it in my drawer. The device that Dr. Park recommends to stretch out, like for dorsal flexion, the foot like this. If that's what you mean, Zach, I have that. Don't tell Dr. Park that I haven't used it in years, but yeah, I did get that one. Ideal stretch, is that what you mean? Well, that's what it's called, and it's very good. If you guys need something, you can also stretch your hamstrings too with it. It's very good. I just didn't get in the habit of continuing to use it. So for me, like I said, I do high intensity interval training. Today I did, oh my God, what I did today was like, it'll just knock your socks off. It was tough. It's called AMRAPs, as many reps as possible. So it was 3 rounds of 10 minutes, and you did about 4 to 5 rounds of everything, and it was like a ladder workout. Like you do 20 reps of one exercise, 15 of another, 10 of another, and 5 of another. Like, for example, taking a weight in your hand and then doing, like, squatting to the right side and then swinging the weight and catching it, and then, alternating sides that way. What else did we do? Well, burpees, hello. Why do burpees seem to be in every exercise routine? I don't know what it is over there at Get Healthy UTV, but they like to torture us with burpees. And let's see, jumping jacks, those were a part of it. Push-ups. Push-ups are really, really excellent. They really are. They say that they're a measure of your strength. So if you can do push-ups, I do modified. Well, I mean, I don't, I do them on my knees, which is perfectly fine. I mean, they're hard to do full out. Planks are great too. So, Zach, yeah, I don't know what a stretchies is, so, you're going to have to educate me on that one. All right, guys, so let me know. We have a few more minutes. Do you want to continue? Is there something else that you'd like me to touch on before we say goodbye and look forward to what's going to be coming up next week. I don't know what's coming up next week. I just kind of think about topics and decide, and sometimes I'll come to you and we'll just talk about the day, see how everyone's doing, do a little check-in. Sometimes I'll have a special guest. As you know, the day before World CP Day last October, I had Robin Cummins from World CP Day on this channel, on this page rather. It was her first ever Facebook live interview, so she granted me the exclusive on that, and it was an honor to have her. I also interviewed my friend Kathy O'Connell from Radiant Abilities about dating with a disability, and she says hello to everybody, and we are talking about the possibility of her coming back. I would love for her to come back, and we want to see what you guys might want us to talk about. So there's a lot of things that are in the works or I'm thinking about, and one of my goals this year was to come to you once a week throughout this year to connect with you more often. Now let me know how you guys like it. If you like it, put some hearts across. Those are always fun to see. Show me some love, and when we're done, please share this video because that helps get the word out. It helps people see what cerebral palsy looks like, not just me, but all of you. And let's end the stigma that we can't do a lot of things, or we can only do certain things. And let's get the word out there that we are out there, that children, just like my quote that World CP Day made into a postcard for me, children with cerebral palsy grow up to be what? Adults with cerebral palsy, and our stories deserve to be told too. And that's really what this page is about. It's for children with cerebral palsy, for adults with cerebral palsy, their parents, their families, their caregivers, anyone who wants to support cerebral palsy awareness, anyone who wants to learn more about cerebral palsy, anyone who wants to help us change the perception of how other people view us. Because although it's the most common disability in childhood, nobody seems to know anything about it. So that's why I decided to start this page. And as you guys know, I feature articles with people who have cerebral palsy. I feature friends of mine who are also advocates, who, whether they have a shirt campaign like Heaven Ramsey and Rochelle Heath do, they're from CP Dream Team. Please follow them. They do great work. Or if they're a writer and they have articles on the Mighty, several of us do. I try to share some of those articles as well. So, I'm just doing my part, and I know that's what you guys are doing. Let me check the comments again and see if I got everything. All right, guys, well, let's see. We've got about 5 minutes left. So I'll open it up to questions. Do you have any questions for me about the types of workouts that I do or anything? Just put it in the comments and I'll try my best to answer. I'm just going through the comments. I think I got everybody, but sometimes there is one that I might miss. But this has been great. I really had a lot of fun. I hope that you guys got some new ideas. Hey, maybe you want to try kettlebell workout. Maybe you want to try a resistance band. Now, this is one exercise that, actually, you kind of fold it over like this, and then if you go like that, see you're stretching your arms, but there's resistance, so you feel that. You can put your feet into the stirrup things, and you can do squats with them. There's so much that you can do. And then I can show you one last time for stretching. This is a foam roller. Some of them will be bumpy and they'll have grooves on them. This one doesn't have, it's not bumpy except the mold, but there's, I don't know how to describe it. You can see like indentations on there. So I'm not doing a good job of that, but foam rolling is really a good way to stretch things out. But I just haven't gotten the knack of doing it. So let me check the comments to make sure if anybody asks me a question, I can answer it for you guys. Hey, I want to welcome my friend Sharon. How you doing? Natasha says, thank you for this. My son has CP. It's for, have you heard of SDR or have any experience with it? Natasha, I had SDR. I'm coming up on my 5th year anniversary on March 29th. Please go to my website, NicoleLuongo.com. I have a tab that says selective dorsal rhizotomy, and there's an FAQ page. And it talks all about it, and all the links are there. And if you need to message me privately, please do so, and I will help you. Hey, Gabriel. Gabriel, he works out all the time. I'm so glad he's here. And he says to Natasha to make sure you get your son working out. It'll be a great benefit for him. Yes, it will. But Natasha, if he is a candidate for SDR, that will change his life dramatically, and it'll make any types of workouts that he does easier. And really contact me and I'll help you. Hey Zach, you're gonna be coming up on 5 years on March 1st. You know what your parents told me? That I think you and I swapped dates. I had my surgery on March 29th, and I think your mom said that that was your original date. If I'm correct, I think that's what she said. But you know what? I had to have that date because I only had my brother who could travel with me, and I had to request that date because that was the only time that he was available. He's a school teacher, and that year it happened to be Easter weekend. So if you were bumped because of me or whatever, let me just say thank you. You made that happen for me, and it's great that we have our anniversaries in the same month. All right, let me check the comments and to make sure. Natasha says, thank you. Guys, I have to thank all of you. You guys showed up. Hey, and Zach's dad is joining us. Hey, Jeff, how are you? We're just about ending this now, but we are happy that you're here. Natasha said she's been told that her son is a candidate. She's Canadian. She's hoping to have SDR in the States, but she will actually check out my website. Great. I know that Canada's had a lot of problems with, is it OHIP? Am I saying that right? With just denying people to go to doctors over there. It's been kind of really what they're doing. I don't agree with. But yeah, if you can come to the United States, I hope you can, because Dr. Park is simply the best in the country. In the world, excuse me. So patients from all over the world travel to see him, and they just did an in-depth article on him at Washington University, where that's the campus where St. Louis Children's Hospital is and where his office is, and I posted that on this page as well. So look for that, because it talks about him and his dedication to people with cerebral palsy and how he pioneered the technique that he uses to perform selective dorsal rhizotomy, and it also profiles at least one of his patients, maybe two, so you'll find that interesting. Let's see. Yeah, I know. See, Natasha's saying there's no funding for SDR in Canada, and they have to raise the money for it, and they want her son to have multi-level SDR in Canada, but she wants to go to Dr. Park. No, multi-level, you don't want multi-level. Single-level laminectomy, which Dr. Park performs, is much better, as I'm sure you know. That's why you want to go to Dr. Park. So I hope they are able to. I really do. And if you haven't joined the group SDR Ontario, run by my friend Stephanie Vicentin. She is amazing. Her son had SDR with Dr. Park. Join that group because you will find out so much information and just in general about what's going on with respect to OHIP, and there's people there who their daughter or sons have had the surgery or they're going to be having the surgery soon. So there's a lot of people out there to support you. Barbara says her medical system is horrible. It's free, but you got what you pay for. She looked into coming to the U.S. for medical treatment, and the stats she saw said Canadian ortho management is at 1980 standards. She said that's horrible. Yeah, I don't know. You know, there's pros and cons both ways. I mean, with respect to insurance. I mean, here in America, you know, what they say is the greatest country on earth. We can't find a way to insure our residents. So, you know, I have a problem with that, and especially people with disabilities, you know, who may need help. My friend Rochelle, we've talked about this so many times. As an adult with CP, you just don't get any help, period. Not only do doctors, they don't even know that we exist. They don't even know what to do with you if you are an adult, you have cerebral palsy. They just do not have experience at all. That's another reason why, if, you know, this page and my website, you know, I'm going to be trying to write more articles in general about CP, but, you know, some things about adults, because we're just left behind. And I don't know how to change that. I'm trying, and I know a lot of us are trying, but I just haven't come up with the answer. And Barbara says they wrote her off at age 16 when she outgrew her pediatric orthopedic surgeon. Exactly. See? So you outgrew the surgeon. That was the end of it for you, right? I mean, that's not fair. And Gabriel says that's why he doesn't go to the doctor for anything. Well, I'm not recommending that people don't go to the doctor if they need medical treatment, but I can understand where their frustration lies. I mean, some of you may know I never had physical therapy in my life until I was 33. No doctor ever recommended it to my parents, if you can believe that. So everything that you see me doing, or if you've seen videos of me or whatever, I didn't get physical therapy that enabled me to do things better. I just was lucky in the fact that my form of CP was mild, and I just did whatever I could, and I didn't have a connection to exercise and cerebral palsy like what we're talking about today. I just liked exercise, and I knew it was good for, you know, cardiovascular health, and obviously if you want to lose weight, that's something that it's recommended that you do. But it just became a lifelong passion of mine. It became something I was committed to doing, and sometimes I fall off the wagon. You'll see my Facebook. Sometimes I'll say, that's it. You know, I haven't exercised for a month, but then I get back on it, or, you know, just how sometimes I don't feel that great in how my life is going. So that tends to be what goes. If I'm not doing well, exercise can fall off the wayside. But, you know, we all do what we can. All right, guys, so nobody's asked me any questions, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and say good night. Thank you for joining me. If you know anyone who needs questions answered about selective dorsal rhizotomy, please send them to my website, NicoleLuongo.com. I also have a YouTube channel. I started one for what cerebral palsy looks like. You'll find some videos there. I'm on Twitter at what CP looks like. I'm on Instagram at what CP looks like. Over there, I have a little fun, and I like to post pictures of recipes that I make. A lot of times I'm using my Instant Pot. It's the pressure cooker that's taken the world by storm. I love it. I will tell you though, tonight I had a pizza before coming to see you guys. I love Home Run Inn pizza. It's really good, and the company is great too. So just because I work out doesn't mean I eat vegetables and salads all day. No, I don't, and I need to eat more greens. But you know, it's all right to treat yourself once in a while. So guys, hey, like I always say, if you have a topic that you think people would be interested in hearing about, and if you've already asked me about your topic, there's no need to tell me again. I respond to people, and like I say, you might have a topic, but it just might not be a good fit or something that I'm doing at this time. So, you know, I just always say, if there's something that you think would be good for a Facebook Live, let me know. And I'll try to make it happen if it's a good fit for me and this page. I love you guys. I love how we're all raising awareness. Let's continue to show the world what CP looks like. And do me a favor, when I say goodbye, please hit the share button. Share this video so more people see it and they'll join us next week. Love you guys. Bye.